Hi, this is What Stories Say with Seth and Seth. I'm Seth.
And I am also Seth.
And this is
Elizabeth,
who is joining us today as we talk about one of her favorite books and a book that Elizabeth introduced me to years ago. The book that we're going to talk about today is called
Warriors.
Is that the name of the
first book is Into the Wild.
Into the Wild.
Okay.
So Warriors Into the Wild. That's the book we're going to talk about a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And
by Erin Hunter.
By Erin Hunter. And the theme song that I have chosen for this book is called The Warrior by Scandal.
Well, that's a little on the nose.
It's kind of a funny, how the titles fit so well together too. But Elizabeth is going to tell us just a brief little history of this book or the story.
An overview of the story?
Yeah, an overview of the story.
Okay, so it starts with a house cat named Rusty who kind of feels called to the woods, like he wants to kind of be in the wild and hunt mice and stuff because he's a cat. And he goes in the woods and meets these cats from these clans that are kind of wild and feral, and he starts training to become a warrior, which is, and the warriors help defend the clan. And so the first book's a lot of him training to become a warrior. The
youngest cats, though, when they first get out of the nursery, they're apprentices, and they're called, and they have a title.
They have the suffix "pa."
Pa, and then when they're ready to move into being full warriors, then they
get a new suffix that the leader chooses for them.
Okay.
I see.
So the idea is these young cats are learning how to become warriors to help protect the clan.
Yeah.
And when they pass the test, they get to drop the suffix "pa" and take on the new suffix that is given to them by their clan leader.
Yes.
Okay.
And the main characters are in Thunder Clan, and a lot of the book they're fighting Shadow Clan, which is sort of.
So they're fighting another can of cats.
Another can of cats.
Yes, another clan of cats. So they're fighting another clan of cats, but they also, as warriors, they don't only protect the clan from other cats. They protect them from any kind of outside source, and that could be any other wild animals or other things that they need to protect them from. And Rusty, right? That's his name in the beginning.
Yeah.
But what's his name once he joins the clan? So once he leaves the house and comes out and joins the clan in the wild, what name does he have?
When he officially joins the clan by winning a battle against Longtail, who kind of challenged him, Blue Star gives him the name Firepaw.
So he's Firepaw mostly throughout most of the book. He's known as Firepaw.
Does he end up becoming a warrior by the end of the first book?
At the end of the first book, the very end, he becomes a warrior and he takes on the name Fireheart.
Okay, cool. I'm excited to hear you two have a good discussion about this book because I have never read it. So my information about the story is all vicarious.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start talking about the song. The song, like I said, is the song "The Warrior" by Scandal. And we're going to just go right into it. So it starts off, it says, "You run away. It's your heart that you betray. Feeding on your hungry eyes, I bet you're not so civilized."
Even with just the basic description of the story, I can see where this is coming in right at the beginning of the story as he's
This is when he's
to the wild,
right. He's running away from the home that he's been living in as a kitty pet, and that's what they call him in the books.
Yeah.
He's a kitty pet.
That's cute.
And he's running away from being a kitty pet to try to be a warrior in this clan. So he's run away. It's your heart that you betray.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's his heart that he betrays by being a kitty pet. that's why he's running away, because
Oh,
his
yeah.
heart wants to be wild, but he's a kitty pet, so it's betraying him.
Right.
Feeding on your hungry eyes, I bet you're not so civilized. Obviously, as he's in the book, there's a part where he's in the beginning when he's looking out beyond the house property, right?
Yeah.
And he wants to be out there, and in fact, I think he goes out there to hunt, and that's when he gets found by the clan.
Yeah.
So that whole, this whole first little stanza there, it's just perfect, isn't it, Lizzie?
Yeah.
Doesn't that describe Rusty perfectly? You run away. It's your heart that you betray. Feeding on your hungry eyes. I bet you're not so civilized.
Mm-hmm.
This is him wanting to be wild. Doesn't want to be a civilized kitty pet.
Uh-huh.
So then the next line says, well, isn't love primitive? A wild gift that you want to give. Break out of captivity and follow me, stereo jungle child. Love is the kill. Your heart's still wild.
Okay.
That's interesting.
So
how does that, Lizzie? How do you feel? This is kind of almost a jumbled kind of sentence here. So, well, isn't love primitive? A wild gift that you want to give. Break out of captivity and follow me, stereo jungle child. Love is the kill. Your heart's still wild.
that is the line.
How did you feel like? Does that fit the character or the story?
Probably. I'm not the one who chose the song, so I kind of have to think about it.
Well, I'm interested in love coming into it all of a sudden, because
yes,
the description that Elizabeth gave didn't mention that specifically, so I'm wondering what your interpretation of that.
Right. So my interpretation: this is not love as in romance.
Right.
This is loving. Well, isn't love primitive? A wild gift that you want to give. Break out of captivity. Now, here's the thing: when these cats, especially the apprentices, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're expected to, within the clan, this is something we didn't talk about before, but within the clan, they're expected to hunt and to bring back the food that they kill to the clan.
Okay.
And so they all go out and hunt, and they come in, they gather their kill, and they bring it to the clan, and then the clan picks what they're going to eat, right? Based on the clan leader kind of chooses who gets to go first, or how do they choose who eats?
Well, the apprentices have to hunt for the elders, which are the oldest cats who can't hunt for themselves anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So they have to bring food back for the elders before they can eat. So basically, the elders and queens, which are the pregnant or nursing cats, always eat first, and then the warriors and apprentices can eat.
That's interesting in that it feels kind of like a compassionate human twist on the way that a lot of actual, especially big cats in pride groups actually work.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting, but I also want you to think, it says, well, isn't love primitive? But then the next to last line in this stanza is, love is the kill. And here's the thing. You have to remember, this is Rusty in the beginning.
Yes.
He's a house cat. So he gets fed, but he likes hunting.
Right.
And in fact, when he first gets to eat his first mouse, it's super delicious and super exciting. So love is the kill. That's why love is primitive, because love is the kill.
So the love that we're discussing here is not romantic love, it's his love of being wild and hunting. And
Right. So the love is the kill, and it says, so a wild gift that you want to give. That's, again, it goes back to that, I think, that thing where he wants to be a part of the clan. He wants to be able to hunt for the cats who can't hunt. It's that wild gift, right, that he wants to give. But in order to do it, he has to break out of this captivity in his little kitty pet state.
Yeah.
And follow me, stereo jungle child. And I just think that goes back to the jungle child to me is the Thunder
what
Clan.
What was the title of the first book again, Elizabeth?
Into the Wild.
Into the Wild.
But the Thunder Clan, which is the
Yeah.
clan he joins, are the ones that really live in the forest. Like that's kind of their territory, is the forest. Then you have the River Clan that lives in the river, and you have the Sky Clan that lives out on the plains.
That's actually Wind Clan.
Or the Wind Clan that lives out on the plains, and then the
Shadow Clan.
Shadow Clan also lives in the forest, but a different part of the forest. So
they live in the pine forest.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the idea of the jungle child, it's like the getting out into the woods, right?
Yeah.
And then it says the last line is your heart's still wild, right? So this is this cat who wants to get out into the wild, and this stanza just kind of talks about what it is that he loves, and what he wants to do. He loves being wild. He loves the kill. He loves the hunt. He wants to be a part of the clan that gives the gift of these hunted prey to the cats that can't hunt themselves, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Does that so far fit with the story, do you think?
Yeah, it fits with the story.
As a theme song for this story?
All right, let's
I
keep
think the
going.
love can also kind of be loyalty to the clan too.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
What you said
okay,
about the
okay.
prey, that they hunt kind of to bind them together, and they all eat at the same time and like share all the news from the day, and it's kind of their binding time where
I
they
see.
That's right. Then they call it the binding time.
they call it sharing tongues because they groom each other and talk.
Oh yes, yeah.
Ah.
So he's there. So it is a love of the clan and grooming each other and talking and getting and coming together. Yeah, good. Yeah, exactly. So then we get into the chorus, and the chorus isn't going to sound quite like it fits quite as well, but I think it fits really well. Anyways, and we'll talk about it. It says she says in the chorus it says, "Shooting at the walls of heartache, bang bang, I am the warrior. Well, I am the warrior, and heart to heart you'll win. If you survive, the warrior, the warrior." So how does that fit with him, Lizzie?
We still don't really have complete sentences.
Right. So no, it does. So to me, the walls of heartache, that's his desire to be a warrior, right?
Oh yeah.
And it says shooting at the walls of heartache. It's like him he's an apprentice, but he wants to be a warrior, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the heartache that he's shooting at. He's trying to get through the wall of apprenticeship to be a warrior. And then it says, I am the warrior, which of course at the end of the book, that's exactly what he is. He's the warrior of the clan, one of the warriors.
Does he face any sort of resistance as a cat coming from outside the clans and from a human society in integrating into it? Because I feel like the walls of heartache could speak to that too, if that's a part of the story.
Oh yeah, that's a really big part of the story actually. Like in the first book, a lot of it is like Longtail, which is a cat he fights at the beginning, was kind of jeering at him for being a kitty pet, and no one thinks, because kitty pets never really joined the clans, so no one thinks he can really be a warrior.
Oh, okay.
And
doesn't the second in command not really like him, not like the idea of inviting kitty pets into the clan?
Tiger Claw, he's actually the main villain of the series.
Oh.
And he, in the first book, he becomes deputy later, after two of the first deputies have to die first. He doesn't like Firepaw, and he doesn't like that Blue Star's letting kitty pets into the clan. And he has kind of followers. Longtail and Darkstripe are kind of his followers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think, Seth, you're right, that can also speak to that, this heartache of trying to get into the clan, but having several members of the clan oppose the kitty pet entrance.
And I think that's a feeling I think most people can relate to, of having some sort of a group that you want to be included in and you feel like you can't get into.
Yeah.
You feel like you're being left out or ostracized in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so he's saying so he's shooting at the walls of heartache, and then he says, I am the warrior. Well, I am the warrior. And heart to heart, you'll win if you survive. And of course, these books are a lot about survival, right? Because a lot of the cats in the clans do die because these feral cats have so many things that they're fighting against.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Other clans, other animals.
Out in the wild where things are going to be more dangerous.
Right, and in fact, there's a point in here where isn't there an animal that attacks the clan's home at one point, and and kind of damages and destroys a lot of it?
Is there? I don't remember.
Or is that
in the first book.
Yeah, that might not be the first book. I don't remember.
At some point in the story,
but at some point that does happen. Okay, so after the chorus, then we go to the second verse. He says, "You talk to me. Your eyes touch me physically. Stay with me. We'll take the night as passion takes another bite. Oh, who's the hunter? Who's the game? I feel the beat call your name. I hold you close in victory. I don't want to tame your animal style. You won't be caged in the call of the wild."
It's interesting because, like, I can tell that the original meaning, the original purpose behind this song was to be romantic and passionate. It's
right.
Relatively transparent, but as soon as you start thinking of it in terms of the metaphor here being a little bit more literal, it translates really well to what it's talking about.
Right, it just translates so well into this story, right? So he says, "You talk to me. Your eyes touch me physically. Stay with me. We'll take the night as passion takes another bite." Right. So here we've got again. It's just going back to this moment, I would say, when they're grooming each other and eating and talking, right?
When they're sharing time, was it?
Sharing tongues.
Sharing tongues.
Sharing tongues. Oh, okay. So that makes more sense. I was hearing it like sharing time in something.
So you talk to me, right? That's that time. And then your eyes touch me physically. I think to me that kind of speaks to both what's the one that he has to fight to get into the clan? Longtail. So Longtail's not wanting him to be into the clan. It's like your eyes touch me physically. Like Longtail is trying to, is physically
wearing daggers at
exactly. And then it says, "Stay with me, we'll take the night as passion takes another bite. Oh, who's the hunter, who's the game? I feel the beat call your name." So to me that's kind of him and his friends, right? The other apprentices. They're kind of.
So he does have friends.
He has two main friends, and then two of the apprentices are kind of bullies.
Ah, okay. Well, you win some, you lose some.
Yep. So stay with me. We'll take the night. A passion takes another bite. Oh, who's the hunter? Who's the game? I feel the beat call your name. I hold you close in victory. I don't want to tame your animal style. You won't be caged in the call of the wild. So again, I think this verse kind of generally speaks to a lot of what's going on in the book, right? A lot of this story of both some of them want him, some of them don't. When he finally, to me, this stanza is the one about Longtail and him, though. And when he finally defeats Longtail, I hold you close in victory, right?
Yeah.
And then I think some of the other cats, I don't want to tame your animal style. You won't be caged in the call of the wild. It's kind of a response to him. So this is kind of the stanza of him becoming accepted into the clan finally.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then we get back to the chorus again.
Yeah.
Shooting at the walls of heartache, bang bang, I am the warrior. Well, I am the warrior, and heart to heart you will win. If you survive, the warrior, I am the warrior. So again, this is him. I think the first stanza is him. The first chorus is him looking out, wanting to be a member of the clan. Mm-hmm. The second one is him looking. The second one, I think, is him as an apprentice. The second one time going through is him as an apprentice wanting to be a warrior and working towards that and feeling like he's going to get there.
Yeah.
And then you go into the third, because you only have the two verses. Then you go into the third chorus, and this is him actually becoming becoming the warrior. We're shooting at the walls of heartache.
Well, I mean, and the chorus repeats more at the end of the song here, but there is a point where in this repetition near the end where one of the lines is different, and that line is, "And victory is mine."
Right. That's kind of the moment that he has passed the test. He's no longer an apprentice. He is now the warrior.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? And so that when it says, yes, I am the warrior and victory is mine. That's that kind of moment of being fully integrated and accepted and fully a part of the clan as a warrior.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think, Lizzie? Is that a good theme song for this book?
Yeah, that actually is a really good theme song for this book.
So what do you as you listened to the words more closely this time, and you know the story, what about those words do you feel like is there anything in there that you didn't like, that you feel like, wow, that didn't fit?
Is there anything that
or is there anything that
you?
stands out specifically as, wow, that line specifically really hits the spot?
Not specifically. The line, "Oh, who's the hunter, who's the game," I don't think he really talked about at all.
Okay.
That's in the second verse.
Yeah, so what do you think about that?
Well, I don't know what it means when it says "who's the game" exactly.
I'll tell you what I think that one can really refer to is in this story, the guy who eventually becomes the deputy and who's the kind of the main villain of the series.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's secretly killing these other deputies.
Okay, I guess that might be the case.
And so as Firepaw, or as Rusty becomes Firepaw and starts working within the clan, and he's the hunter, right, with all the other cats, there's this, so but then you've got this deputy cat who is also hunting the cats within the clan and doesn't like letting kitty pets into the clan. And so then there's there's this danger where you're not only the hunter, but you're also the game, the one being hunted.
Oh yeah.
Does Fireheart have any upward mobility within the structure of the clans later on in the series?
Yeah, he will eventually become the leader of the Thunder Clan, which is which then he becomes Fire Star, right?
Yes, Fire Star.
Star is the title for the leader, and so he will eventually become the leader of Thunder Clan, and he will be Fire Star.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
But not in this book.
No, in the last book.
He gets to become a warrior, though. And that's why this song, I just love when you have a song, I love how well these songs can really relate just every line to the story that we're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Each line you can go through and be like, wow. And yes, Seth's right. This song is, originally it's written as a love song, right?
Yeah.
And you listen to it and it's like, wow, that's pretty obvious that's a love song. And yet, word for word or line for line, it fits this story so well.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Any last thoughts, Lizzie, before we end this podcast?
No, not really.
Yeah,
We're pretty thorough.
Well, I'm glad that you joined us today, and I hope you had fun recording this with us. I had fun having you with us. Seth, next week it's your turn. Do you know which story you're doing?
Oh, yeah, I forgot to think about it, so it's going to be a surprise again.
All right, surprise next week.
Find out by tuning in next week.
All right, we'll see you next week.